Hi, I'm Don Stanek, your Agile coach. This segment of the listing presentation is all about the strategic marketing plan. It's where we tie in all of the conceptual things that we've dealt with up to this point to make it brick and mortar and physical and tangible and presentable to our home seller. It's important that you have sample after sample after sample after sample. At its very core, a strategic marketing plan is no more than a list of things that you're going to do in the sequence that you're going to do them in order to maximize exposure for the property so that you can have as many showings as you possibly can in the shortest period of time. At this point, I want you to physically hand your seller a copy of your strategic marketing plan. It's a list of things that you're going to do in order to promote the house, to drive showings. Technically, this is how you earn your commission. A listing agent, almost by definition, is someone who promotes, a promoter, an advertiser. This is the things I'm going to do in order to earn my commission. If you've been in the business for a while, you should have a list of this already written down. It might be 10, 20, 50, it might be 100 different things that are on this list. Essentially, what you should have on that list, bare minimum, is number one, staging and declutter. If you don't stage a home correctly, it's not going to be set for number two, photography. If you don't have great photos, then your property is not going to look good in the other two types of medium that we push out to the public. You should have printed materials and you need to have digital materials. Your printed materials are going to consist of a variety of things depending on what you normally do in your comfort level and your budget. On every single property that I take a listing on, bare minimum, I have a property flyer, which is a one-pager on the property. You've seen these all over. They stand in the brochure stand, either in the yard or in the kitchen or wherever. Number two, I take it a little bit further. Depending on the property, if I'm selling a luxury home, I'm going to take that one-pager and I might expand it out to 8-page brochure. An 8-page brochure is going to talk about the neighborhood lifestyle. It's going to talk about a lot of different things, not just the property itself, but what can I expect when I move into this neighborhood. Another printed piece I always do on every listing is just listed postcard and a just listed door hanger. Now, those are the four pieces, bare minimum, that I require, and I have a standard every time I take a listing. When it comes to the printed material, don't blow past this. Take some time and bring some samples. Show your seller the different types of pieces that you've produced in the past, how they look, and more importantly, how you're going to utilize them. You might even say a little something every time you give them a piece. You might say, well, a lot of people think that print is passé, and why would I ever print anything? But what we find is that people consume information still in all types of ways. Not everybody's on Facebook. Not everyone's going to look at a Google ad page. However, people still check their mailbox every day. And that's one of the reasons we send out EDDM, Every Door Direct Mail Piece, this postcard, not only to all the people that are in your immediate area, but we strategically target another community nearby and for people who are aspiring to possibly move into your neighborhood. You've got a 4-bedroom house and it's close to the school. We market heavily to condominiums in the area, people who might be expanding their family and need an additional bedroom and take advantage of the school system. Now, it's just one more thing we do in order to drive traffic. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. We do this, we do this, we do this. Door hanger, same concept. Here's why we put a door hanger and say just listed in your neighborhood. Because it gives me an opportunity to perhaps talk to one of your neighbors. I'm physically, or a member of my team is physically putting that on the door hanger and we're knocking on the door. Hey, just want to make you aware of the fact your neighbors over on 123 Main Street put their home on the market. Do you have a friend, a family member, or maybe a coworker who might be interested in seeing the house or moving into this neighborhood? The next thing you really have to demonstrate a high level of expertise in is the digital world of promotion. How are you promoting this property in the digital space? What is the digital footprint that you're going to introduce the property to the market with? You need to have samples of what you've done. This process doesn't start with a Facebook ad. This process starts with making sure that your MLS entries are filled out completely with a high level of professionalism and no mistakes, particularly around the syndicated remarks. Make sure that they're professionally written. If you struggle with this, not a problem. Use a ChatGPT or an OpenAI word crafting product. Get better and get better at this. Take a look at other people's syndicated remarks and have that give you some recommendations or some ideas. Oh, that's a good idea. I should probably, maybe I'll word it this way. It's important because these remarks are going to get syndicated out to the world. Now you need to explain to your seller what is syndication. Syndication is no more than this. We're going to put things within the MLS platform. That's going to percolate in a variety of different places across the internet because eventually it goes up to Realtor.com. Realtor.com is going to share and or sell that information to all over all these other places. Your home is going to show up in a lot of different places. This is why it's essential that the photography looks great, which means the staging has to be perfect, right? Staging, photography, digital picture, promotion. Your home is going to be seen across the entire internet. There might be people who are out of area who are attracted by the photography and they pick up the phone. There might be people who are right in your neighborhood who are curious about what's happening in their neighborhood because now they got notified that there's a home on the market and here it is, digital representation. You have to be able to, as an agent, to be able to show samples of this work. I know it seems counterintuitive, but print out some screen captures of what you've done in this space. But start with the MLS. Maximize the number of photos that you can put in your MLS. Sometimes you can put meta tags on the photograph before you upload it, and it's going to help with SEO. So people are going to be able to find that property easier. And it is what I refer to as the document of truth. The MLS is the document of truth for digital. Everything that goes out digitally from you has to be sourced back to your MLS entry. Every budget's different, but for me, one of the important parts of my strategic marketing plan is three-dimensional photography, hosted on a website that's usually the property address. The price on this has come way down. You've seen the technology, and a lot of people kind of thought, oh, it's a novelty. Now, for me, it's become a professional standard. So when I'm in a listing presentation and I demonstrate this, I'll show it on my tablet or I'll show it on my laptop. Here's an example of what we do for every listing. And this is why we drive so much traffic, because we're able to take this URL, the website for the three-dimensional dollhouse image, and we can send it to other agents who can share it with their buyers, or we can send it for people out of the area, because we understand that your property is a destination property. There's a lot of people moving in from this particular area. It's not good enough for you just to show someone how interesting a tool is. You have to tell them how you're using it to drive traffic and how you're using it to drive value. Now, the nice thing is they don't necessarily know what the expense associated with Matterport or one of these other protocols is. They don't know the exact expense. But as an agent, maybe you're offering to pay for photography and maybe you're offering to pay for Matterport, which might come along with a single-use website. Now, all of these items are stacking up on the value side of your equation. I'm providing value. I'm providing value. If you're paying for these things, for goodness sakes, it's a really easy way for you to defend your commission when we get to that conversation later. Here's the minimum standards. Here's the minimum thing we do in order to promote your house. It's three-dimensional walkthrough imagery. Isn't that cool? Isn't that interesting? Isn't it impressive? It's one of the ways we help showcase your house better than other agents. Oh, and by the way, it's included. As a listing agent, bare minimum, you need a website that's got an IDX feed that's branded around your business specifically, and you need a YouTube channel, which is in the same configuration, and the branding needs to look consistent. All the listings you've ever taken need to have a video put on YouTube with the property address. Anyone who does a search of the property address, it might actually help your YouTube channel get pulled up into that awareness. But more importantly, you're going to be able to share that link with a variety of different people. After it's hosted, then you can start delivering it and pushing it. If you share the property on social media, which you probably should on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever your poison of preference is, you have to be able to take a hard copy and actually show your customer. Maybe you print it out. This is what your Facebook ad looks like. This is what your Instagram ad looks like. When we run a banner ad for your property, this is what it looks like. You might be able to do this digitally. You should be able to show them on a tablet. You should be able to show them on your laptop. I actually always have hard copy print of things with me all the time, just in case it's more convenient and I want to be able to leave it behind. This is what your home is going to look like when the rest of the world sees your property for sale on Facebook. Now, we all realize that social media, digital advertising has real limits behind it. So I don't want you to just tell this person we're going to put your house on Facebook and it's going to sell. I need you to tell a story around Facebook that makes sense. For example, I'm a real estate professional and I'm here in this area and I'm part of a Facebook group of realtors in this area, and there's 10,000 of us, and I'm going to be able to sneak preview your property to that group of agents. In fact, within that group of Facebook agents, I specifically have a relationship with the top 100 buyers agents in this market, and I'm friends with most of them on Facebook. And why is this important? Because a buyer's agent needs to understand that your property is available, and I'm the listing agent, because that buyer's agent probably has access to a variety of buyers that they're working with. If we market your house to one specific buyer at a time, it's going to be limited. It's another way to promote your property. But because I have a relationship with all these other real estate professionals, can you see here as I demonstrate that? I'm going to contact these people directly, not just through Facebook, but with an instant message. 123 Main Street is now available. I'd love to show you the property. Maybe I copy and paste the Matterport link into that or some other link to the property, and I'm promoting your property to other people, other professionals who are working with buyers. A buyer's agent might have 20, 30 buyers that are in their stable of buyers at different points and different needs. So for me to reach out to one agent is just as effective as if I maybe reached out to 20 or 30 people individually. Also, let's just be honest, sometimes digital ads within the social media space are not always well received. But if I'm using it for a specific intention to communicate with another professional, I think that's a story that you need to tell to your seller. The last thing I want to talk to you about your strategic marketing plan is working with AI word and writing tools. If you haven't already started to experiment in this space, today's the day to learn something new. There's a lot of resources online around writing tools, around AI, and you can download many of these things for free just to get started. Give it a little bit of context in the prompt, because the better the prompts and the better the context you give it, the more effective the material is when it comes out. You can start with a simple exercise. You can open up the tool and say, give it context statement. I'm a realtor and I'm listing dominant. I maximize the value of properties through delivering maximum exposure. Please make a list of 25 high value action items that I can take to promote a house to a possible buyer. Boom. It's going to give you a list of 25 bullet points. Do you just print it and go off to the races? No. Look at it. Edit it. It might jar your memory. Oh yeah, Don said get a YouTube channel. Or it might tell you something that you never even thought of doing. What it does do is saves you a heck of a lot of time, and it helps you fill in the blanks. And it gets done like that. You don't have to labor through it. You don't have to, well, maybe I can talk to my broker. Maybe I can find my office manager. Good luck with that. Maybe you don't have an office manager. I don't know. Don't be so reliant on other people for you to get this done. Now, the other thing that AI is going to do, it's going to help you learn how to learn. If you're struggling with anything, it's a sophisticated methodology, but it's at its core is a search engine, which you're giving more contextual prompts around. Start experimenting with this if you haven't already done it. I think the exercise around having it create a strategic marketing plan for you is the very first one you want to start with. But from there, you're going to write syndicated remarks for the MLS and any other kind of marketing correspondence that you might want to craft out to make it sound more professional. It's all about giving it good, decent prompts and context, and then sending it a clear command. And then most importantly, assess it and edit before you finalize something or send it out to somebody else that you care about. Congratulations, you made it through another chapter. Now the good news is there's only one chapter to go until you've completed the class. My commitment to you is the same today and tomorrow and the next day. And that is, I want to make sure that you're learning something, not just so that you can get the certificate and pass the test and live happily ever after, My goal with you is that you're learning something. So if you're struggling at all with any of the material, any of the content that we've talked about up to this point, including this last chapter of a strategic marketing plan, do yourself a favor. Don't suffer in silence. Just contact me directly. Get on my calendar. I would love to help you get to the point at which not only you're learning more, but you're earning more. Sometimes you can learn a lot from a video, and this is why we do video. But at the end of the day, talking this out with somebody is going to be even more effective. I would love to meet you and learn a little bit more about how you're running your business today.